He wasn't just a performer. He was a phenomenon. From a child with a voice beyond his years, to a global icon who redefined music, performance, and fame itself, Michael Jackson wasn't built overnight. The film Michael doesn't just tell his story. It pulls you inside it. The pressure, the ambition, the brilliance, and the cost of becoming the biggest entertainer the world has ever seen. Directed by Antoine Fuqua, this biographical epic takes us from the early days of the Jackson 5, all the way to the explosive global dominance of the Bad Era. This is not just about music, this is about transformation. Let's break down the full story of Michael, 2026. Explained. The film opens in the late 1960s, inside a modest home in Gary, Indiana. Here, we meet a young Michael Jackson, played as a child by Juliano Krue Valdi. Even at this age, there's something different about him. His voice isn't just good, it's commanding, emotional, precise. And it doesn't take long before his father, Joe Jackson, recognizes that this isn't just talent, it's potential for greatness. We're introduced to the Jackson 5, where Michael becomes the undeniable center of attention. The film shows how quickly things escalate. Local performances turn into national attention, and soon the group signs with Motown. But success comes with pressure. Behind the scenes, the film doesn't shy away from the strict, often harsh discipline imposed by his father. This becomes one of the emotional cores of the story. A child carrying the weight of expectations far beyond his years. As the narrative moves into the 1970s, we see Michael begin to outgrow the group dynamic. His ambition expands. He's no longer just performing. He's observing, learning, and imagining something bigger. That transition leads into one of the most important phases of his life, his early solo career. This is where the film shifts tone. The lighting changes, the scale increases, the performances become iconic. Michael, now portrayed by Jaafar Jackson, steps into his own identity. His creative vision becomes the driving force. He's no longer following, he's leading. The film highlights his obsession with perfection. Every move, every note, every performance is refined again and again, not because he's told to, but because he needs it to be perfect. We see glimpses of the making of legendary performances, the choreography, the recording sessions, the relentless rehearsals. The audience is placed front row as Michael transforms into a global phenomenon. But the deeper the film goes, the more it reveals the cost. Fame isolates him, expectations grow heavier, and the line between Michael the person and Michael the icon begins to blur. Supporting characters begin to play a stronger role here. Performances from actors like Colman Domingo, Miles Teller, and Nia Long help ground the story, showing different perspectives on Michael's rise, admiration, concern, and sometimes distance. As the story moves into the 1980s, the scale becomes massive. This is the era where Michael isn't just famous, he's global, a cultural force, a symbol. The film builds toward the Bad Era, showing an artist at the peak of his power. The performances are larger, the crowds louder, and the expectations higher than ever before. But even at the top, there's tension. Michael is chasing something that can't be easily defined. Not just success, but legacy. Control, perfection. And that pursuit becomes the central theme of the film. The final act doesn't end with a fall. It ends with a realization that everything he became started with a child who just wanted to perform. Michael, 2026, doesn't try to summarize a life. It focuses on the beginning of a legend. The film ends by reinforcing one idea. Michael Jackson wasn't just created by fame. He built himself, piece by piece, performance by performance. From the Jackson 5 to global superstardom, the journey wasn't accidental. It was driven by vision, discipline, and an almost impossible standard of excellence. But it also leaves you with a question. Was he chasing greatness? Or was greatness chasing him? Because in the end, the world didn't just watch Michael Jackson rise. It witnessed the making of a legend.